General Motors, GM, once a pioneering titan in the automobile industry, now finds itself at the precipice of a precipitous decline. The driving force behind this downfall? CEO Mary Barra and her strategic gambles might have pushed GM too far, too fast. From the rushed electrification of their lineup in an attempt to catch up with Tesla, to the neglect of their reliable combustion engines, GM is teetering on the edge of an uncertain future. The prognosis isn't optimistic. Let's delve into the details of GM's deteriorating situation, exploring the reasoning behind their bold moves, the repercussions they are facing, and how they plan to bounce back. With the dawn of electric vehicles, EVs, GM sought to ride the wave of change, embarking on a bold mission to electrify their entire range. However, instead of a smooth transition, what ensued was a detrimental scramble. In their race to compete with Tesla and other rising EV stars, GM seemingly lost sight of their stalwart cash cows, their combustion engine vehicles. To many industry observers, it was a risky and perhaps reckless gamble. The electric revolution, while promising, is still in its early days, and in GM's haste, it appears they have prematurely forsaken their traditional lineup. The unfortunate consequence? GM is now reportedly selling their electric vehicles, named the Bolt EV and EUV models, at a loss. It's as if with each unit rolling off the production line, GM is giving away money. But it's not just the financial loss that's concerning. In their ambitious pivot toward electrification, GM seems to have neglected the quality control of their existing vehicles, leading to a series of disasters, from fire hazards due to faulty parts to large-scale plant shutdowns prompted by poor sales. Moreover, these once reliable combustion engines that were the bedrock of GM's success have been unceremoniously relegated to the backseat. The irony is unmistakable. While GM's fixation on the future seems to be costing them their present, other automakers are capitalizing on the situation. These competitors have adopted a more balanced approach, continuing to invest in their ICE, internal combustion engine, vehicles, while gradually integrating EVs into their lineup. This careful strategy contrasts sharply with GM's radical approach, which now appears hasty and ill-judged. This corporate turmoil has not been without consequences. GM, the largest automaker in the United States, has endured significant fallout from these strategic missteps. The once thriving giant has been hit with reports of layoffs, plant shutdowns, and falling sales figures. Moreover, news has emerged that GM has decided to discontinue the Bolt EV, which currently accounts for over 95% of the company's EV sales. It's a decision that has left industry watchers flabbergasted, and GM's loyal customer base feeling abandoned.
$106 million and spun through billions of dollars in cash.
Major airbag recall for more than 1 million cars and an urgent warning about shrapnel that could explode in your car.
However, perhaps the most damaging development has been the massive recalls due to safety and quality issues. Just a decade ago, GM was basking in the glory of being named the top-ranked automaker by the J.D. Power Initial Quality Study in 2013. This accolade, based on the scrutiny of new vehicles in the first 90 days of ownership, highlighted GM's commitment to quality assurance. Their brands, including GMC, Chevrolet, Cadillac, and Buick, were all performing above the industry average. The future looked bright. Unfortunately, the promise of this golden era quickly faded. In recent times, GM has had to recall over 55,000 vehicles across 8 different models due to a range of problems, from brake fluid leaks that could ignite fires to missing retaining rings that hold the drive shaft halves in place. The recalls, which have significantly tarnished GM's reputation, stand to cost the company millions, if not billions, in repairs. In a desperate attempt to stem the tide of these troubles, CEO Mary Barra confirmed a massive recall affecting a staggering number of vehicles. But these bold moves seem more reactive than proactive, and investors and consumers are beginning to question whether GM's leadership can navigate this turbulent period. The company's electric vehicle strategy, headed by Barra herself, is equally perplexing. The zero-emission mantra, embodied in their ambitious 000 slogan, zero emissions, zero crashes, zero congestion, suggests a future where EVs dominate GM's vehicle lineup. However, it seems this vision is more of a pipe dream than a plausible reality. Despite GM's claims of having a head start in EV production, the company's electric vehicle sales have been sluggish. Their commitment to the EV cause, however, remains unwavering, albeit at the expense of their traditional ICE vehicles. Take the case of GM's Ultium platform. In contrast to other automakers that are offering hybrid options or EVs based on ICE platforms, GM decided to forego this route, deeming it a compromise that results in costlier vehicles. Their solution, the Ultium platform, was meant to provide a solid foundation for their new EV lineup. And yet, despite their grand plans and substantial investment in EV assembly plants, GM's progress in terms of actual sales has been disappointingly slow. Consider the Cadillac Lyriq and the Hummer EV. Despite having more than 80,000 orders for these vehicles, GM only managed to sell a combined total of 158 units in the last quarter of the previous year. To add insult to injury, Factory Zero, their dedicated EV plant, was closed for an entire month, and their deal with LG to build batteries was abruptly cancelled. All these missteps suggest a lack of strategic foresight and operational inefficiency. The struggle to achieve profitability with their EV lineup has led to some drastic decisions. One of the most shocking was the discontinuation of the Bolt, America's most affordable EV. Despite Bolt's sales surge due to price cuts, the financials did not add up for GM. The decision to axe the Bolt boils down to profit margins and strategic EV production. GM aims to achieve single-digit profit margins for its EV portfolio by 2025 and produce 1 million EVs in North America. But these lofty ambitions seem more like wishful thinking given the current circumstances. Even as GM navigates these challenges, competition in the EV market is heating up. Rivals Ford and Tesla, for example, have joined forces to use Tesla's supercharging network, creating a formidable alliance that further isolates GM. The road ahead for GM and its CEO Mary Barra looks difficult. Balancing the demands of an uncertain EV future and the legacy of its current fleet while maintaining the loyalty of its customers is no small feat. The question is, can Barra steer GM out of these troubled waters? Or will the automaker's fixation on an uncertain future end up costing them their present? Only time will tell. The one certainty is that the stakes are high and GM's future hangs in the balance.